What is Botpress? It's basically a web platform where we can openly create all kinds of chatbots that we can interact with. It's pretty much what it says here, right? It's an all-in-one solution for creating AI agents based on the latest LLM technology, okay? LLMs are basically OpenAI, Cloud, and others. So right now the main competition is between Botpress and VoiceFlow, okay? Botpress is a bit more technical, but being more technical also means it's much more customizable than VoiceFlow. And that's it, this is the tool. So how can we create our Botpress account? Well, we simply click the blue Start Free button, we click it, and it takes us inside. Note that I already have my account set up, but it'll ask you to verify your email. It lets you choose any type of email provider, be it Microsoft, Google, GitHub, or any other. Once you've done that and chosen your email type, you just go and verify through your email account. And that's it. It's really that simple. How can we create a bot? As you can see, I'm at 1 out of 1 uses in Botpress with the free plan. If I wanted to create another bot, I don't think it would let me. But basically, let me see if I can delete this one. To create a bot, go to Home, click Create Bot, name it, and hit Create. Previously, you could choose templates or start from scratch. Now, as you can see, that option isn't available. To open it, just click Edit in Studio and you're set. So we'll start from scratch, and that's how we create our first bot. Alright, we're here in Botpress looking at the first project we've just created, and I think it's crucial to discuss the difference between a chatbot and an AI agent. Well, an AI agent, as we know, is a bot, or rather an agent as they call it, which you can talk to, and it uses a set character or established rules to access AI and answer 100% of questions. What's the issue? The problem is that if we're providing customer service, we might want to use AI selectively, tapping into LLMs like ChatGPT or Cloud only when needed, not constantly. So the issue is that an AI agent working purely on AI might correctly solve 99% of problems, but you're losing that 1%. And you're losing the revenue from that 1%, which is a shame. The beauty of chatbots is we can set fixed paths and integrate AI, which is cool. So those are basically the differences and benefits of each. How can we ensure when starting a chatbot that it uses or doesn't use its knowledge base? Within the chatbot, we have a section called the knowledge section, which contains knowledge bases where we provide various materials such as web pages, documents, tables, web searches, and more that the chatbot can work with or not. Clearly, we can limit its access to this information if needed. How do we do this? By default, the start option is not selected, as you can see. But if we go to default knowledge base, it will enable the database. If we don't want it to use the database, we set it to disable. This way, it won't use the database, which may or may not be relevant to our need. Right? So how does the knowledge base work? Let's start here, as it's like the database our bot uses. So first thing we need to do is add a database. As you can see, it's currently disabled. So importantly, what type of database do we want? I'd usually recommend direct text, as web searches, tables, docs, or sites use way more resources. In this case, I'll choose website. I'll enter this link, which is a page I have that we might use. I'm going to click Discover. Right now, as you can see, the info isn't organized at all. The sitemap isn't directly created. As you can see, we have the option to select all pages. In this case, it would be 2,800 pages. Let's say I only want to know about the About Us section. There, I found it. About Us. We're going to add pages. We've only added the About Us part. There we have it. The cool thing is we can now test it to see if the info we added is correct. Alright, how can we create our first card in Botpress? Well, we'll start with this Start node. If we click it, we can add a standard note, for example. Let's see if I can select it. There it is. As you can see, the standard note works. It connects right to left and then right to left again to finish. So we have the standard here. We can name it whatever we want. Let's call it Start, for example. And here we can add cards. As you can see, these are all the card options. Important, let's say we want to add. We have OpenAI and AI tools like image generation and others. But the key feature of chatbots is capturing information, right? Based on the database we've provided. So for that, we would use the raw input option. If I hover the cursor, it says capture information and so on. Let's drag the raw input. We can delete this. Now we'll add the question we want to ask the user. I don't know. Ask me. Ask me what you need. Ask me what you need. Here we can select or create a variable. For example, we'd create the answer variable here. As you can see, we now have the answer variable here. Note, this variable only works in this workflow. If I create another workflow, this variable won't be saved. So we'd need to change the workflow per user. This variable would work for this and any other workflow. Now we have what we want more or less. Let's click on Test Your Bot. As you see, it starts asking what you need. Here we can, I asked what edding is. which is my website's name, and that's the name we have in the knowledge base. It tells me it has captured the answer. As you see, answer is captured in the variable section, and the conversation has ended. That's basically what we would have done. How can we use a variable across different workflows? Let's say we have a variable that we want to use in another workflow. Simply put, we set the workflow section to user mode, and that's it. Now we can have multiple workflows in this bot and reuse this variable within Botpress. To create a variable, just click the plus, set the name, and choose the variable type. It can be text, Boolean, numeric, date, object, or others. We can add a description to remind us what the variable is for. Alright, let's see how we can create a variable in Chatbot, or more specifically, ask users for their name, get their response, and then use that name to welcome them, which is a logical way to start. Let's select everything we have and delete it. Now we'll go to main, which is the start, add a standard note and connect it to start and end. We'll add a card, and the first thing we'll do is add a root inputs card. With this card, we're going to ask the user a question. The question we'll ask is, hello there, what's your name? We'll save this name by creating a variable called name or username, and there it's created. Let's edit this variable to work for all workflows. We'll set it to user mode, save it, and delete the workflow one. There it is, user.username. We can disable the knowledge bases since they're not needed here. It uses the database instead. Now we're going to add some text to welcome the user. We'll type welcome, then the @ symbol, and select username. Let's test the bot. We'll type hello, what's your name? I'll say my name is OneClick, hit enter, and it responds, welcome OneClick to this conversation. This is a great way to welcome any user in the chatbot. How can we add a conditional in Botpress? Currently, when I say hello, it welcomes me, asks my name, I give it, and it greets me using my name. Then it simply asks what I need. But what if we want it to do something specific when I give a certain name? Let's say we want it to perform a specific action if I give a particular name. For example, let's use always and add if user username, which is our variable name. We have it here, user.username. If it equals the conditional will execute. Now we'll hit enter and it should generate the code for us. Next, let's drag and create a new standard node with text like you're at. We can add the variable right here. See how it recognized it? Can you see that? Now if I say I'm Mike, it replies, yes, you're Mike. That's exactly what we want. Now let's move up to the if statement. The if statement should automatically do it at the end. Hitting enter should theoretically do it. For some reason it didn't work, so I wrote it directly. I set it so if the user.username is it says I'm Mike. Let's test it out. We click test bot and it asks, what's your name? I'll type F and you'll see it say, welcome F, what do you need? But if I ask again, it says, what's your name? I say, are you Mike? It replies, oh yes, you're Mike. This is how it can recognize us. This shows we can use conditionals in this tool. Alright, let's see how we can create fixed questions in Botpress, okay? By fixed questions, I mean, well, let's take a look, okay? We'll scroll down and click on single choice, okay? We'll select it, drag it over, and as we can see now, let's see. We now have this single choice section. Here, we'll ask the user a question, like, what's your issue, right? We can offer choices like error or flashbook. Click more to add more options. Maybe add question doubt or refund, okay? Basically, what do you want? Well, the question could be improved. Now, in single choice, I'll tidy this up a bit. I currently have 3 output. If I now click on, let's go back here. I'll hit reload. I click on test your bot. It'll ask for my name first. I'll scroll down. Let's try again. Test your bot. It asks what I need help with. Error, question, or refund. I select error. It'll take me to error section. If I pick error, I'd add a standard node for error help. This classifies user issues directly. It's less human than AI. Just options, but it's quite practical and ensures 100% functionality. Maybe add an other option, like other thing. Use AI for other responses. That could work really well. Alright, how can we categorize a user's response? Earlier I showed you in another video that we can use this single choice option, where we can basically give users a choice between different options, and when the bot starts, it makes me choose between these various options, and based on my answer, it proceeds accordingly. I mentioned that among these options, you could include one that's not fixed, like other. Let's say we do it this way, without directly using artificial intelligence. So we have this option which is other. We'll add a standard node here. I'm trying to organize it a bit as I had it set up before. If we wanted the answer to be categorized more humanly, I'll remove other as I had it organized. So first, what we're going to do is capture the response. I'm using a raw input here where you basically drag the raw input. You'll create a variable called workflow answer, and as you see, the result will be stored there. That's all I've done, nothing more. You don't need anything else. You can even disable the key viz if you want, no problem. Then I added an AI transition that categorizes text. What text does it categorize? Well, the response, it stores the result in, I wanted it stored in that, so I used the same variable. Not ideal, but it worked. It'll categorize what we've input and determine if it's a question or a greeting. That's the conclusion he'll draw. So I've set it up to say hello for greetings, and I don't care for questions. Let's test it. As you can see, I don't have any greetings set. We should put some text here like, hello, how are you? Or whatever we want. Let's do it. Hello, how are you? I say I'm fine, how are you? Let's see if it responds. Well, since it's a question, it says it doesn't care. It worked perfectly. Now, if we type hello instead of testing, it'll reply with my preset message. It's that simple. You might ask what happens if I type hello with a question mark. Let's see. I don't care. That's just how it is. Obviously, it's AI, so it can make mistakes, though that is technically a question. We could program hello to offer help or give a proper response. This way, we can categorize responses with AI instead of manual variables, which is tedious. So that's it. All right, to wrap up, let's look at Botpress payment plans. I've shown you how to do many basic things already. We could get as technical as we want, of course. I might make a more technical guide if this one's well received. Let's just go to billing, then plans. As you see, they give us $5 free to test the bot's functionality. The free plan offers one bot, 500 messages or events per month, one workspace, 1,000 table columns, 200 MB total storage, 30-day data retention, 100 API requests per second, plus community support, and $5 free credit. For $79, you get that plus 2 bots, 1 always active, 5,000 events or messages per month, 2 collaborators, so different people can work on a project, 100,000 tables, 1 gigabyte. I think this is probably what most people need, just a bot that's always active, responding, typical customer support bot. Well, I think this is what most people need, but if you're really advanced and have a thriving business, I recommend the team plan. Why? Because of this section. Having analytics and live chat support. Analytics are included here too. A 90-day data retention. This gives tons of routes for analytics, like plus and 3 always active bots. Again, this is if you're advanced and need all 3 bots. If you only need 1 bot, I'd go for plus. Simple as that. It's that straightforward. Monthly, it's 90 instead of 79. Currency isn't shown, but it's assumed to be dollars. So yeah, it's that simple. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in future videos. Bye bye. Alright, how can we publish our bot after experimenting with it? I've already taught the basics, but there are many more advanced things. There are more technical aspects you can explore. Simply click publish in the top right corner. It then says your bot is live and ready to interact with users. If I copy and paste it now, you should have the bot. You can embed the bot wherever you want, like on your website. It's that easy. But I'll delete this bot, so don't try to use it. That's all. It's that simple. I hope you enjoyed it.